Fantastic. Hi, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
How's it going?
Due to the situation, we were going to have this Facebook Live event in the train car of my basement. But because it's rather confined space there, we decided it would be a better idea to have it here in my model railroad room.
Where we can socially distance ourselves.
We can be a little more spread out. So we may look like we're very close to each other on camera, but we're actually about
we're
6 feet apart.
So, yeah, exactly. It's probably better than... well, the coach would have been cool, but yeah.
There's also all the sound effects down there, too. Though I have to tell you, the Wi-Fi in the coach is better than in here. So if we break up...
Is it really?
My apologies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi coach is right below the router.
Are we still showing in not landscape mode?
Yeah, we're in not landscape mode.
Oh well.
Okay,
well,
everyone,
we're going to do our best. So.
Turn your computer on its side, eh?
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know if that helps, but your monitor. Yeah. Okay.
Mark wants to know why not on the bus.
Why not? The Wi-Fi is terrible on the bus.
Oh, yeah.
The bus was built in 1967 and it was last upgraded in 1967.
Mm-hmm.
So actually...
It doesn't have a radio either. It used to have a radio.
It doesn't have a radio. It has nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a fare box.
No.
It has a turn signal. A speedometer.
A turn signal that mostly works.
Well, no, it works.
We don't have hazards yet, though.
It works,
so.
Yes. It doesn't have four-way flashers yet.
Well,
we're still working on it.
They didn't exist in 1967.
No, exactly.
On buses.
What, hazard lights?
On buses did not exist in 67.
What did you do? You just stuck
Brandon Borden says, "Good evening from Petawawa. I wonder if he knows that I'm from Deep River. Don't hold it against me."
I can't believe we got two people from the same neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And apparently I don't break iPads, I just break turboliners. Ha!
Yeah. So you can get the bill then.
Yeah. So for those of you who are wondering if we have sold enough turboliners, the answer is we don't yet know. And I'll tell you why. Because we're down to a skeleton staff at Rapido HQ.
We got about a third of the staff is working from home right now.
Right. So Roslyn is our order desk manager, and she's at home, but we're having technical difficulties connecting her to our server, so she hasn't entered any orders that we've received in the last 2 or 3 days. 3 days.
That being said, the orders did pick up quite a bit just in the last day or so.
We are hopeful that the numbers will be enough that we can go ahead. But honestly, we don't yet know what the value of the orders is.
Now, that being said...
How high-tech we are. We actually have someone typing in the orders when they come in.
That being said, we are keeping the order book open. The early bird is done, but we are keeping the order book open.
Okay, if they send in their order today...
they got a couple days.
We'll give it till the end of the week.
Yeah,
we'll give it to the early bird till the end of the week.
You got till Friday.
We'll be nice hosers.
Yeah, 5%. The early bird discount on the turboliner is 5%.
Yeah.
That applies whether you order through us or through your hobby shop. And that's to encourage people to order based on a prototype photo and a rough drawing.
Exactly. An initial or early CAD drawing that
very early.
It's like
simple.
15% done. So.
But what can you do? I'm hoping that we can do it.
Yeah.
And the Horizon cars, the factory started production of the Horizon cars, and the numbers are really good on that. So we're very happy with the Horizon car response.
Definitely.
The 8600 response has been good. The New Haven 8600s. If you haven't ordered that yet, get that in like immediately.
Yeah.
Because those numbers are going to the Rapido factory tomorrow, Friday.
Tomorrow, Friday? Yeah. Well, you got basically till Friday. At the latest.
Somebody sound the alarm. John Sheridan is watching now.
Oh no. Give him the clamps.
Give him the clamps. All right, so do we want to start with some questions?
Sure.
All right, let's make sure I don't miss any good ones.
Let's just lay out the rules. You can ask us anything, but we don't promise to answer everything.
Yeah. Hi, do you have a GMD H1 currently in development?
Oh, can we just say that we've received a phenomenal amount of feedback, very good feedback. At the last newsletter we sent out, we asked people to give their suggestions on how we can run our N-scale line, broaden it, market it, all that sort of thing. But basically helping us out with our N-scale line.
Yeah, so now I spent most of the day yesterday. I have a 50-page document, which is about 50,000 words. Of basically everybody's emails.
But those are good. But we also got other ones that basically said you'd sell up N-scale if you made X.
Yeah.
And some of those X's were the most obscure trades we'd ever heard of that we might sell like 20. It just happens to be what that guy needs.
Well, you never know.
All right. Ask away, Josh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, the rules. You ask us questions.
Yeah.
Yes, ask us questions, and I filter them through. When are we going to see cement tankers?
Cement tankers?
I'm not sure what he means by cement tankers.
Trucks
I'm
or...
thinking maybe the flexi flows.
Well, the flexis had, they carried
They were cement.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Flexi flows are in production now.
Yeah.
We just got color samples yesterday or today.
Yep.
Today. It was today.
Today.
They look very gray.
Oh, we have.
Except for the Penn Central.
You know, we left the dining
MOW
cars
there.
in the hallway, and I know if we try and walk past the wire there, we're gonna knock everything over.
Oh, probably.
We got dining car shipment.
Yeah.
The Pullman standard dining car shipment has left the factory.
Yeah, we got 15 factory samples, production samples. They just arrived this morning, so I was able to run them over here on my way over at lunch. So, do you want to pull one out at some point, or?
Well, maybe later on when people won't care if the phone
not right
bills
away.
and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
go ahead.
All right. Any updates on the PAs?
The PA ones, yes, I can answer that. So if you remember, we did a 3D scan of that in October, and Bill Schneider is the leader on the PA project. PA and PB, it's not just PAs, it's not just PA ones, it's also PA2s. And so we took the scan, and that was traced by the fellow people at Creoform who did the scan for us. They did a trace, and then they were able to make sure that the trace of the nose was absolutely perfect, and the roof and everything. And then Bill's been working with the factory to finish the designs, because the scan it scanned the locomotive as it is now, but obviously when it was built there were a lot of things different. So Bill managed to track down some very elusive roof shots which we needed to be able to finish the roof, and the designs are almost finished. I'd say that's going into tooling in the next 4 weeks.
Nice. We should see a sample by spring, end of spring.
Hopefully. It takes about 2 months for the first sample. The biggest concern I have, and this is tied to what's on everybody's mind, is cash is tight right now. Because of the economic situation. So we really want to get that PA and PB into tooling. Ooh, wow. So that's going to be a priority, I think. So because the orders for the PAs and PBs are very, very strong. I want to thank everyone who's already placed an order. But based just on the 3D scan and the launch, we've already sold like a lot.
And we don't even obviously have samples, so that's a good sign. When you can sell
I think we sold more PAs and PBs value wise based on that one 3D scan than turbo liners based on all the promotion.
Thanks a lot.
Sorry. Next question, John.
How are the RS-18 repairs coming?
RS-18 repairs are coming.
Yep, they're coming along. We've increased our warranty staff by,
we now went from 1 to 3 full time,
and we get a part-time fourth person when he's available. So we've really kind of upped that game.
Yeah, the biggest challenge for the RS-18 repairs is that often stuff gets damaged when we open it up, and it was. We spend a lot of time fixing the models and make sure they're perfect, and we generally make sure that we send them out to you better than they came to us in terms of their appearance. We're very, very careful about that, and our satisfaction rate on repairs is near 100%. People are very happy with it. But speaking of repairs, because of the COVID-19 situation right now, we are a skeleton staff at the moment. And Canada Post has stopped delivering packages to our office. They just stopped.
I think as of yesterday or the day before. So any packages that we would be getting, regardless of where they're coming from, they're just leaving slips in the door now. So,
and we don't want, because we have very few people, and I don't want people going into a crowded post office to pick stuff up. I'm going to ask if you do have a repair to send back. Just please hold off for a few weeks. I don't want it to get stuck. There's a very good chance that we'll end up being asked to shutter our doors for a few weeks. That's happening in a lot of places now. I know California's already had that. So we don't want your package sitting in a post office depot somewhere for weeks on end.
Exactly.
So I'm going to ask that no new repairs come to us for now. But when things sort of ease up, then we could start sending them again. Also, if you're calling the office, Listra is our receptionist. She answers the phone, and she's working from home. So while she can answer the phone, she can't actually transfer it to somebody. This is the call is being forwarded to her. So
But she is able to answer from
she's
home.
able to answer, but honestly, email is the best way to get in touch in case you can't get through.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
case
please.
you can't get to the phone, email is the best way. So we have a record, and we're going to keep track of the emails and make sure that everyone is responded.
Yeah, regardless of what you're looking to get information about, if it's a warranty issue, if it's a parts issue, if it's an ordering issue, if you just want to talk to Rosalind about your collection of Union Pacific SD40-2s, just please send us an email so we can all kind of answer them that way. That's the best thing to do at this point. So.
Yeah, but honestly, we don't want to talk too much about that situation because we're all dealing with it, everybody, and we want to escape from that and talk about trains.
Exactly.
For a while.
Yep.
More questions, Josh?
Yep. Not really a question. Someone wants another run of GMD1s in HO scale.
It's been a few years now.
It's been a couple of years. I think we need to wait a few more.
Mm-hmm.
The difference, what we're finding between in the hobby now versus say 15 years ago when Rapido started, is we could come back and re-release stuff after a year or two, and now we're finding it takes longer.
Yep.
So for the GMD1, because we got like 3 or 4 runs out of the GMD1, I think it's best to hold off for another couple of years and then do another run then.
Oh yeah.
But
for
the
sure.
GMD1 is one of our biggest selling locomotives of all time, believe it or not.
It is. And we have actually had a lot of requests for a new run of SW1200, so that's kind of in the same boat. It might not be right away.
1200 RS. Yeah.
Well, 1200 RS. Yeah, we got the Canadian SW1200 RSs. We've thought about doing another run, but that'll again probably be a couple years away. Maybe sooner. You never know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
The American SW1200 is coming along really well.
Mm-hmm.
We've asked the factory we had a whole bunch of tooling changes because, as always happens, we show samples and then everyone comes out of the woodwork and says, I've got a photo showing you got to fix this and fix that and fix this.
Yeah.
So we've done that. We've done all the fixing. And the LRC factory is keen to start production of that this spring. So we're going to get samples, we're going to do a new video, and then we're going to announce a final deadline. We'll give you a few more weeks from a newsletter, and then we're starting to make those because they're really keen to make those throughout the summer, deliver them in the fall.
And some of the roads have been selling really, really good, like SP.
And Southern Pacific is sold about the same as everything else combined.
Yeah, and then you've got other ones. I won't say which unless you want to. Some of them are garbage.
So you might have heard us in our videos using the expression garbage. Our partner Huang at the Rapido factory has a wonderful expression. He says, this is very, very garbage. It's very garbage. Another time was very, very terrible. So Huang has a way with words, and all the fun stuff that the memes that go through the Rapido office generally come from Huang.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And he probably doesn't even realize it.
Oh no, I tell him. Oh, I absolutely tell him because we go to China and Bill Moen and I are Huang has a great story where he's kept on saying no problem, right? Oh, no, big problem. So everything in the emails back and forth to China, no problem, big problem. And every time we ask for a more complex model, we get the same answer from Huang. Please cancel.
Yeah. Is this make mugs instead?
Yeah, Huang is the one who wants to make mugs.
Yeah. We should make more mugs. We haven't had any mugs in a couple of years now.
That's right.
Yeah. We need Amtrak mugs.
Talk to your friend Matt.
Yeah. Let's see. Greg Custer wants to know how difficult will it be to do a P&W or Iowa Interstate M420 with the existing design?
I can answer that. That's Dan Darnell's project, so I'm not the pro on the M420. But I do know that the P&W has different trucks, which affects the bolsters considerably because the trucks are very, very different.
They use the Type B, the Elco Type B.
Right, and we found that we could not just swap the trucks out. There's also other tooling differences. There's a new fuel tank. So P&W, I'd say, is easier to do than BC Rail. I'm not sure does Iowa Interstate those ex-P&Ws?
I
believe so, yeah.
Okay, it's difficult but not impossible. BCR, which you've had lots of requests for, is extremely expensive. I don't know why, but the M420, the one style that we're doing, which is the B and C class CN of M420, cost us 50% more to tool than all 4 F59s
That's
combined.
very strange.
It's a very, and they're made from the same mold factory. It's a very, very difficult mold.
Yeah.
And
I think it wasn't just that,
handrail
it was,
molds are also very
I
expensive.
think it was also the bolster, as I recall, the bolster on the BC units is.
Everything's different. The whole underframe is flipped.
Yeah.
The bolster truck spacing is different because of the underframe is flipped. So with very little we can reuse. We can use the trucks, things like, but we can't even reuse the universals. Like, it's all different.
Yeah.
So it's essentially all new tooling except for a handful of parts. And because the CN locomotive was so expensive, we looked at incorporating the BC Rail stuff at the same time, and it went beyond our budget. We couldn't afford it. So I think what we're going to do for BC Rail very likely is the same thing as the turboliner. We'll do it as a conditional release.
Yeah.
And we'll say, okay, after the CN1 comes out, everyone loves it. They love the new Rapido TCS sound that's in it and all that stuff. Then they can do the pre-order thing for the BC Rail. And as long as we get enough to cover those tooling costs, we'll go ahead.
Now, at the very least, we have had a ton of people asking for the BC units. So, I mean,
look, there's demand,
yeah.
but we also used to have a ton of people asking for the turboliner. Look how well that's done.
Right.
we had to beg for orders.
Yeah, they're coming in. We're still going to make it, I hope.
All right. Andre from Germany has a question that we've actually heard quite a bit.
It's late. Go to sleep.
How about a new run of the Canadian in HO scale?
Well, I can answer that. As a whole train, that almost shut us down because it sucked up all our factory resources. And I know
for
that...
like 6 months or something like that?
Oh, more like a year.
A year, yeah.
However, we have been revisiting the molds from the Canadian, and we're working with a friend of ours in China, and he is confident that he can get all the molds repaired. So the new run of LRCs comes from repaired LRC molds. So what we'll most likely do is release the Bud stainless steel cars individually, and I think we could announce one of those before the end of the year.
Kind of like, well, not exactly like the Skyline, because the Skyline car, we retooled that from the rails right to the roof. So that was a totally new model. But if we can, I know some of the cars we never released. I know the baggage door we never released as an individual car.
We only released the coaches and the domes as individual cars.
Yeah. Well, didn't the parks came out individual too?
But the parks are only Canadian, yeah. But
Yeah.
Most of our sales of the Bud cars are to American roads because they're very, very similar to a lot of American Bud cars.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the only one that's in broad release was the coach and Skyline, the dome car.
There's a lot of potential there anyway. So.
Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, we want to do more of that.
And other cars.
Yeah.
All right. Arthur wants to know if HO scale RSC 14s are in the pipeline anywhere.
It's like, are all the people watching hosers?
I think so.
Because every
Possibly.
question's about
Well, no,
Canadian
the last
stuff.
one was from Germany.
But he's asking about the Canadian.
He's
He's probably from like Tatamagouche who just lives in Germany for now. But what was the question? RC 14s? Yeah,
that'd be doable.
Those are a good chance of those.
There's a very good chance of those. We need to do a new truck and fuel tank.
No, it's been tooled. All we need is a new truck.
Okay, so yeah there you go. Next.
I'll tell you honestly, my big concern, and this is the feedback we've been getting from a lot of people, is that in Canada, especially, people's wallets are stretched.
Yeah, definitely.
So I know that at N scale, we made the huge mistake of announcing 4 projects at once for the Canadian market, and it's all the same guys ordering all 4 trains, and that had a big impact on sales. Because people had to say, I've always wanted these 4 trains my whole life, or the last 20 years, and I can only afford half of them.
Yeah.
So
that's why we had to spread those out quite a bit. Cause, our production schedule was
totally
more aggressive than our customers could afford.
Yes.
So
the LRC coaches are in production N scale. The F40 orders are garbage, very, very garbage. So we're pushing.
We still have to do them though. We've tooled them.
Of course,
so
we're going to make them. We're
going
to do another push when we get the finished tooling samples. And then the Canadian that's tooled. They're just doing final corrections now. And then the FP9, we're waiting because it's just too many things.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting on those FP9.
All right, I'll finally give you an American locomotive.
Woo!
Vito wants us to make the C424 or 425.
Hey, I've mentioned that once or twice to you.
Once or twice or 47 times?
Yeah.
Why don't you answer this one?
Well, I'd like to say yes.
But aren't you the
Look at me.
president?
Look at the customer.
Aren't you the president?
Yeah, you're president and CEO.
Well, does that give me approval then? If I can approve the C424 and 25, then I say yes. Yeah, there's a lot of roads we can do for those.
Lot of
both
demand
sides
for
of the
that.
border.
A lot of demand for that.
Oh yeah.
There's never been a correct Canadian one done.
No,
100%.
not 100%.
That's
So
right.
there's a lot of room for those.
So
Yeah.
just to give you, we're in my layout room. It's the triple deck layout of the Kingston sub. The Monster Helix is behind us there. Maybe we can turn the camera later. And today Jordan and I were working on fascia. So all the fascia is in on deck 2 and 3, and we can see we've been filling it with wood filler to cover the screws. But I'm just looking at this. I had to show this to you. This is one of my coaches from the Canadian, speaking of the Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are drilling holes for wires to go under the deck of your layout, and you forget to turn off the power,
Yeah.
and the car is on a frog, and it derails and shorts,
He
and then
melted
this
it.
amazing burning circuit board smell.
Yeah. All the windows on the inside are fogged.
They're all
So
fogged.
the outside it looks fine, but the inside of the car
I'm
is
afraid
all
to
melted.
put it on the track. So this has been lying around the layout room for the last 3 years of construction. It's covered in gunk. Yeah, the windows
nice
are
job.
Thank you.
Now, what does that have to do with C425s and
But I just was looking at it.
C4s?
Can I show all the neat? So if we do the Bud cars, check it. Are we in the camera here? Check out the underbody
I don't
detail.
know.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look, it's all there. Isn't that cool? I'm obsessed with underbodies. I love underbodies. Yeah, I know. Stop
Sounds a
thinking.
bit strange.
Yeah, stop toying with people that will redo the Canadian.
Next.
Let's see. Why did you not do the RS11 in D&H or Main Central?
Well,
Because
Well,
they never
yeah.
ran. Because they never ran on the Kingston sub. Next
well,
question.
they probably did. We get this question a lot about a lot of projects. Why didn't you do this road? Why didn't you do that road? We've actually discovered this with a couple of our recent projects.
1200.
The 1200s especially. We announced 20 paint schemes, and Dan Darnell's been stuck designing and redesigning and designing new parts for this model for 18 months. So one of the things we're trying to do now, we're trying to limit ourselves for each new production run, limit to about 8 paint schemes tops, because that way it doesn't take the product developer a year to just do the artwork. So
Well, it's
if
also
you don't,
that, hobby
Yeah.
shops too have trouble ordering.
Exactly.
They'd order more if there are fewer to choose from.
exactly. So what we're going to try and do, like I said, we're going to do 7-8 paint schemes. So if you don't see your favorite paint scheme in the first release, it'll be in the second or the third. So we're definitely, especially D&H, those RS11s, we'd sell a boatload of those. So yeah, they'll be coming. Yeah.
Definitely,
Oh.
definitely, yeah, definitely. It's just very hard to do so many at once, and that's a mistake that we made with the 1200.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the problem with the 1200 is it just kept growing.
Yeah.
The project, let's just do this one. We've had a lot of requests for this one, so we just kept on adding on more schemes.
Or
to
someone
it.
says, well, this road would sell well. And we're like, okay, let's add that to
Yeah,
it.
and then there's of course Dan, who's probably watching from home now, insists on doing 3 Grand Trunk paint schemes, and all of them combined equal one number of SP.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you to our SP fans, and I know that it really means a lot to me because I like the fact that we're getting a reputation of being true to certain roads. So, the Canadian roads, obviously, we do a lot of great Canadian stuff. We are known as the main New Haven manufacturer in the industry, which we're very proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all due to Bill Schneider and now John Sheridan, who are 2 New Haven experts who are on our team. And now a lot of SP guys, ever since we did the RDC, have realized that we're committed to it. So it's great that we can have that kind of following, and we're gonna do more neat SP stuff.
We are.
Yeah.
We might have a couple things in the pipeline right now. So
Yeah, the RS11 actually, so that's an example of a locomotive that we only did about 8 paint schemes or so, and that was a very successful project for us. We sold a lot of RS11s. We were very surprised at how many we sold.
I think that was that our number one seller for the RS11s, or was it was up there? It was in the top
the
few,
paint scheme.
Yeah.
SP for the RS11, I think, was our number one seller.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, because it's neat to do all the funky lights.
Well, it was the same with the B36. I think they only had like a dozen, and that was
SP was our
SP and Santa Fe.
SP was our and Santa Fe were our two biggest single schemes. And CSX had so many variations that it ended up to almost the same.
Yeah.
But SP and Santa Fe were biggest sellers.
Oh
there.
yeah.
And the Santa Fe RDC was a huge seller too. That was a good.
It was. We sold
the 2-pack.
those.
Yeah,
They're hard to find now
great.
too. So.
What's that?
They're hard to find now.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we still have one set.
Yeah, the one that I put in the archive.
Oh right.
Remember when you told me to build that archive?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh well.
All right, we got a lot of people saying thank you for my B36-7, but what about a B30 or a B23-7?
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. One I've mentioned to you once or twice.
Well, if we did one of those, the project manager's sitting over there.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray! You're pointing at the wrong guy. I'm an EMD guy. All the GEs look the same.
Oh.
Yeah.
Please file all complaints
Oh my
to.
God, I can't believe you just said that on our
That's
video. Oh
Please
my-
file all complaints, care of
That's like-
Jordan Smith.
You're the project manager, and you're saying they all look the same?
He's being tongue-in-cheek. Well, that's how I always talk about freight cars that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a freight car. Throw it on a later. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not a passenger car.
Yeah, is that wood sheath or is that riveted steel sides? You probably wouldn't know.
It's a freight car.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a passenger layout. Sitting behind Josh is one of the only turbos in the planet that actually runs.
Yeah. I've got my B36s on here somewhere.
Oh, yeah, they're over there.
Yeah, behind the camera, so you can't access them.
Not now.
At some
Later.
point, you answer questions on it. We'll get a couple dining cars.
All right. What's our next question?
That's-
Don't pull the cord.
I
didn't pull the cord.
Jason
He didn't pull the
Jason
cord.
knocked over when we were setting up the camera. He knocked over my phone, which is on the tripod right now, and almost broke it, but I grabbed it in time. So.
All right, questions for Jordan. Matt Donnelly says he's waiting for his payment for breaking the turboliner. And since he sent the letter to you, that's on you.
Can I pay in new passenger cars that are painted Amtrak?
Hey, Jordan, where's the dining cars?
I gave them to you. They're in here.
Oh.
They're in the Helix, where you told me to put them because you wanted to bring them out sometime during the live
We're gonna have to
stream.
listen to the door slam for no reason.
Probably. Welcome to Rapido, where we're on the ball tonight.
All right, you just walked past.
I
in the
walked
Helix.
past them again. Where are they?
In the Helix, where you told me.
Oh,
to
they're in the Helix.
I have to do my Picard face palm.
Yep.
Anyway,
What
other questions do we have?
So Bob Kroger is asking, will WoW sound be programmable? Okay,
It's not.
there's some clarification on this
so
one.
yes, we're not using WoW sound decoders. This is a custom-made decoder
the
by
Rapido.
TCS, the Rapido TCS decoder. Jason, I know, has been working and editing a video. Which are you putting that up this week? Tomorrow. So look out for a YouTube video tomorrow. He did a trip with Mohan down to TCS last week. It's going to be
A couple weeks ago.
a couple weeks ago. Yeah, definitely wasn't last week. And that's going to be going up tomorrow. Just kind of talking about all the things we're putting out in new decoders, the new design and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm gonna try and crawl under the
Don't
cable.
trip over the cord. Which ones did you bring?
I got the SP that you were looking at earlier.
All right.
There you go.
Did you bring the Amtrak?
No. I got the Via. That's not even my layout.
Yeah.
Oh. I got the Ontario Northland.
Ooh, those are nice.
Can I just tell you that the factory loved the fact that the two dining cars have the stripes completely opposite from each other? Thanks, Josh. So, all right, more about the Rapido TCS. We are developing, as Jordan said, a new decoder with TCS. You'll hear all about it in the video tomorrow. TCS is also developing a desktop programmer that you'll be able to plug into your computer and to customize all the settings on your decoder or your locomotive through the track. And those should be coming out around the same time as the first Rapido TCS equipped locomotive. It is not a wow sound. It's a new decoder, and it doesn't have an SD card. The sounds are flashed onto the decoder. Okay, here we go. This is the first time we've had a look.
Is that Moose River?
This is Moose River. Did they get the chevrons the right way?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. ONR, I'll hold it up there. ONR dining car.
Nice and focused there.
It is. I'm sure it's in focus. Okay, have a look at that. I just want to look at the bottom of the dining car. I want it to derail and just land like that so you can look at it. Isn't it gorgeous?
Just run it around your layout once.
I love it.
Ooh,
Did you just say that?
Wow.
Just for that.
One of us has a layout.
Ooh. Hey, I'm working on modules right now. So this, let me show the SP. Can you see that very well? All the underbody.
Well, you can look at it.
Oh, a bit of a delay.
Look at
the back of the camera.
That's true. Oh no, let me move that over. There we go. That's better. So look at all of that detail there. That's the SP
There's
card.
detail inside too, eh?
Yep.
It's not just on the underneath.
Not very light, but you can see the tables with all the place settings, utensils, plates, whatnot.
They come with water jugs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, water jugs come in the
markers.
package. Here's the end gates. It's a metal part.
Oh, there is one
Very nice.
thing. I wonder if I put it in the VIA one. We did it in CN. Let's see if it's the VIA one too.
Also,
Factory really screamed at me over this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What did you do? I'll put this on your layout.
No, it's not the VIA one. It's just on CN. They send us a CN?
Yeah, it's in the other box.
Okay, bye.
Why don't you do that and ask me another question?
Yep. Also, Craig Walker, I did not say a boot. If I said a boot, you would know about it. Actually, you'd know about it. Bill Christian's asking, why the switch to TCS? ESU is far better.
I'm going to leave that one to Jason.
No, please reserve your judgments until you see our video tomorrow. Even I was nearly, I nearly fell on the floor when I was seeing this video.
Okay. I'm going to ask that, honestly, you follow what Josh said, and you hold off judgment until you actually see it here. That's all I ask. It's a new decoder, and it's amazing. We have not switched over to TCS. We are using both TCS and ESU decoders. And my feeling is it's good to not to have all your eggs in one basket, just to have variety. And I really want to support TCS. I don't know if you guys know this, but TCS is a family business based in the Forsyth home in Pennsylvania. It's a home that John Forsyth built with his own two hands. And I don't mean he hired contractors. I mean he built that home himself. Everybody works in the basement of the home, except for JD works from home, which is like 100 miles away. But it's all made in USA. Okay? Yep. So you want to support that. This is a company you guys want to support. All right? I wish we could make our stuff here. I I always have. In fact, I tried when I started Rapido to make the stuff here. John's doing it. The Forsyths are doing it. Okay? It's a family business, and every decoder is made in the USA. So before you judge, all I ask is you watch it in action and listen to the sound.
Yeah. And any projects we do have on the go right now that will have TCS decoders, we'll be doing lots of videos as we get new samples and stuff like that. So you'll be able to see and hear them before they hit the market.
Exactly.
All right, well, Jason's taking the wrapper off that one. I'll give this one to Jordan. How about a Jeep 30 in both low and high hood?
Jeep 30s are cool.
They are cool.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I need some
okay,
Jeep 30s.
okay, here it is.
Santa Fe yellow bonnets.
All right, we've now been interrupted by the president.
Okay, I'm not going to remove it because it'll break stuff off.
This is also the first time we've had most of these out of the box. We only took about 4 out of the box when we did our photo this morning.
Okay, you can't see this, but let me see if I can get in here.
You can't see it, but you're going to...
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
Okay, do you see that? No, it's out of focus. It's out of focus. Jordan, you're throwing... Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that, but the plates have yellow rims because they're CN.
Really?
Did you?
That was a perfect example of when Huang emailed me and said, please cancel. And I said, no.
This just in, Jason is crazy. But we
That's
already knew
not
that.
new.
Yellow rims on the plates.
Just for CN though?
CN, yeah.
Oh.
Well, the 2 CN scheme.
Well, that's true. Is it different?
No, it's the same middle.
Oh, okay.
But you can't turn over the plates to see the CN logo, unfortunately. I couldn't do that.
Probably not. Okay, what else you got?
What about a complete CN Super Continental on HO scale? Well, we're doing it piece by piece.
Yeah.
Very slowly.
With this car, you can actually do several of the CN Super Continentals. Because the way the Super Continental was, it was a whole variety of equipment.
Yep.
So, for example, even to the point where, depending on your year, the equipment would change, depending on the time of year.
You also had a lot of second-hand U.S. road cars. A lot came from, there's some from Milwaukee. A lot of ex-Milwaukee cars were in there.
So what they would do is they would have a rebuilt heavyweight club lounge from Toronto to Edmonton, and then they would switch out the club lounge in Edmonton and put on the Cineramic Dome, which is in Milwaukee Road.
Yep.
Right, and the club lounge was a former fork car.
But there were also sleepers. They had some Florida East Coast sleepers too at one point.
They had Florida East Coast sleepers. They still had lots of secondhand sleepers that were in the, there was, it's a whole variety of equipment. If you go on eBay, you'll be able to find all the cars you need to make your Super Continental. You just need that.
Yeah.
And they're on the way.
Are there any other major cars we didn't do?
That would normally be on the Super, depending on your year. An I-Series sleeper would have been on the Super.
That's true.
And then there's the heavyweight club lounge. The I-Sleeper, I don't think there's enough demand to do. But a heavyweight club lounge, I've always had my eye on that. Always. We'll see. It's a lot of work to put these cars together.
All right, and a follow-up to that, someone wants a CN Diner in N-scale.
Very possibly.
Yeah. That would actually probably do pretty well. I know the baggage car, it took a little while, but we got those out and they did well after a while.
I'll tell you my concern with a dining car. If you look at the HO dining car, it's much higher price than our usual passenger cars because people only buy one, unless they've got 2 or 3 trains, and they'll buy 2 or 3.
Yep.
So it's much easier to bring out a coach or an E-Series sleeper in N-scale than a dining car. But it's certainly possible. So we've just tooled up 9 new car styles in N-scale. So it can be done. And that includes a diner.
And that one sold really well too. So
the Canadian's doing very well. Thank you to everyone who's ordered a Canadian, and please keep those orders coming. The Canadian, no concerns about sales on the Canadian.
Yeah.
Though I told the number of sets we'd sold so far to Huang, and he asked why we hadn't sold 10 times as many.
Of course. Now, one thing we do need to do, we need to do some new videos soon. So especially for the F40s and the LRCs, we need to do a video with them in action, I think. So.
Yeah, we will, and as soon as we've got stuff to show, we'll show off these dining cars in the video.
Of course.
Now we've just opened them. But yeah, that's where the COVID-19 is really posing a challenge. Because we've put in a lot of changes at Rapido over the last couple of weeks where we sent people to work from home. Everyone who shares an office has had to separate, so they're not sharing an office anymore. We always have lunches together in the boardroom. 15 of us crammed into the boardroom.
It used to be 6, and then it was 8, and then it was 12, and now it's 15. Sitting on folding chairs.
So we've actually had to cancel the group lunches.
Yeah.
I think because only 3 or 4 of us do it, we can still watch Picard tomorrow. I think we can do that. It's a big boardroom for just 3 or 4
Otherwise,
of us.
I'm watching it at home.
No, you can't watch them. We after lunch on Thursdays we watch Picard.
Yeah, he found out once that I watched Picard, or was it Discovery?
It was Discovery. You watched Discovery at home.
I watched an episode of Discovery, and I told him that I hadn't, and then he found out that I had because someone let it slip.
It was betrayal.
Yeah, and that was like 2 years ago. I've never heard the end of that one. So.
All right, I have to back Mark Sampson on this one. There is demand for iSleepers. I demand an iSleeper.
Okay, Mark, what will likely happen is you'll trade me a bunch of old Via stuff, like steps or something that you found in the garbage one time, and that you get your iSleepers for free, so your order doesn't count.
And neither will mine. Even though I'll probably order 2.
There we go. We're breaking even already.
Yeah. Let's see. We got
charge $100,000 a car.
I could buy you a real sleeper. Actually, that could probably buy you a half a dozen real sleepers.
Someone was asking earlier how much for the steps.
I have lots of steps. There's one by Jordan. There's one behind the. There's two in the Helix.
Yeah, there's at least 4 in here.
They all look different.
Yeah, they're all different. Steps generally go for, if it's the folded aluminum types, like $100, and this is probably about $150. This is a cast one, but they're not for sale because they're really handy. Mm-hmm. And we have the steps because we knew a lot of people who were scrapping cars in the 90s, and we got steps from them. The step behind you is from Exeter, 1160,
really?
Owned by one of my best friends in the whole world, Richard Longprick. And he gave me that step the day I met him 22 years ago. Yeah, so this is history to that.
Someone wants to know if we would ever do a Trainmaster if the H16 is successful.
Jordan?
I don't know. Atlas did them. Well, they've done a lot of releases on those.
Yeah, but it's not Rapido.
No, it's
True.
not. So
it's a nice model, but
there's a market there, I think. There's a lot of other FMs I think we could do as well. The H20s, the Baby Trainmasters. I think they were the
Whatever you don't speak from memory because someone can look up on their computer.
Oh yeah,
really
I'll get 15 comments saying that I used the wrong digit or something like that. So.
Well,
but there's
that's because Gomez was talking about RS11s, and he was based on something he read in the book once 20 years ago.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
On our video. Got the road number and the road name wrong.
Yes, yeah.
Good work, Gomez.
Since we've announced the F59PH, is there any thought of doing commuter cars to go with them?
But we're doing commuter cars. We're doing Comets.
Bi-level
commuter cars.
Or someone said those shiny things from Chicago. I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about.
Shiny.
I don't know. No one's ever done the first generation Go bi-levels. The 5 windows downstairs.
No one's ever done
the
design. Go single levels.
Until I take a hacksaw to them.
Yeah.
You're going to turn them into an O&R, aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
That'd be cool.
No, the bi-levels. 5 windows. Let's see, what else we got here? Come on, people, I'm running out of questions.
Really? There were lots of comments coming through. There's not questions.
Just scroll up a bit.
Well, no, I had to restart it, so I lost half of them.
Uh-oh. So ask your questions again, guys. If you didn't, if Josh didn't ask your question, please.
Another person asking for a Trainmaster. How about some contemporary 70s or 80s coach buses, like an MC9?
I wouldn't be opposed.
I don't know how to break it to you, but the 70s and the 80s aren't contemporary anymore. They may be in my basement. I mean, I am wearing bell-bottom corduroy pants.
Says the guy that says modern locomotives are anything made since 1970.
No. 1986.
That was
34 years ago.
Yeah.
That's how old Via's engines are.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Kyle has an interesting statement here, and I'm going to ask both of you to answer to respond to this. He says Kirk is better than Picard.
Ooh. That's
Kyle?
Yes.
Those are fighting words.
I took the words out of my mouth. Okay, Kirk solved all alien threats by punching somebody out or sleeping with them, whereas Picard uses his brain. So Picard, when there's an alien threat, holds a meeting. That's the most realistic.
Now he uses a kid with a sword to solve his problems.
Now he uses a kid with a sword. That's right.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Or an
I've seen
X-Borg.
episode 3. Yeah.
It was episode 4. Come on.
Sorry, I'm one episode off. I haven't watched them 3 times. I've only watched all of them twice. Unlike you.
No, I'm only in my second viewing.
Oh, okay. All right, back to the trains.
All right, I'd like to publicly address Matt Donnelly. Yes, we are vividly aware nobody has ever done a GP40TC. Stop telling us.
If we did a GP40TC, everyone would tell us the blue's wrong.
We'd also probably sell a lot of those.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Because a lot of people are modeling Go single levels in the 1970s.
They want the
There's a lot of
Amtrak line.
They pulled Am fleets.
How many?
Verizon.
How
They
many
pulled
does Amtrak
Horizons.
have?
All of them.
How many is that?
8.
8.
In two,
So wait.
two different paint schemes?
So BC Rail hugely outsells Amtrak, and we're having trouble doing a BC Rail hugely demanded locomotive, the M420, and now we're supposed to tool up a locomotive for Amtrak that only had 8.
And Go. In 3 different paint schemes.
What's it gonna pull?
Well,
We go back to that, don't we?
yeah.
Yep.
We already talked about that.
Talk to the audience, don't talk to
Okay. Next question.
Yeah, that's it. That's how you talk to guys. Next question. What's going on with Icons of Steam? And I also saw some earlier questions. What's the status of the D10?
D10, I think that's... Are we complete with the design on that?
The D10 design is complete. The D10 is not entered tooling yet because it costs a whopping great bucket load of cash to tool. And so, because of the situation right now, we've had to slow down our tooling schedule.
Yeah.
So the D10 was going to go into tooling right after Chinese New Year, but it's delayed a bit. It's still coming up. D10's coming up. The H6 orders were very poor,
Yeah.
but the D10 orders were good.
Yeah,
The
I think-
Icons of Steam, I'll be totally honest, I think we were about 15 years too late. And so we're now going to bring out, we're going to pick and choose steamers to bring out. The honest truth, guys, is that the Royal Hudson cost us 3 times as much to tool as the SW1200RS. In terms of dollar value, they were almost exactly the same sales. As well, the Royal Hudson unit cost is about double the SW1200RS. So you just do the math, the margins on the steamers is much thinner.
Yeah.
And so you have to come up with a lot of cash to get not a lot of return, right? So if you're spending, no exaggeration, $200,000 to tool a locomotive, but you're spending a lot of money up front. All that tooling cost has to be paid before production begins.
And that
All
was,
the
that was also
production
one
costs.
of the things too. We got that a lot when we were talking about the H6s, how they were doing really bad in terms of sales. We got a lot of people saying, well, you should tool this steam locomotive instead, or you should tool this steam locomotive instead. You've got the same problem where it's
when
a
we
shot in the dark.
announced the Royal Hudson, everybody said, wrong engine, you gotta do a D10. Nobody wants a Royal Hudson. Well, I can tell you right now that our sales of the D10 to date, and it's been about 2 years, whatever, since we announced it, 1.5 years since we announced it, our sales to date do not equal the Royal Hudson sales in the first month.
Yep. We announced that was that was 2018. Christmas
2018
we announced that. So
right.
it's been over
almost.
a year and a half. Almost.
So the Royal Hudson sales initially right out of the gate were phenomenal, just phenomenal. And
Now that being said, the H1 A's and B's probably easier to tool. So you've already got a lot of the drive and stuff like that.
Yeah,
In theory.
what do you call it, straight Hudson, like
Yeah.
2816, yeah.
Yes.
That's in the works.
All right. CN Jeep 9 chop nose.
So Bowser placed dibs on that a while ago.
Yeah, I know they've been actually showing. I think it was prototype photos at shows and stuff like that. I think it was on their banner. So that's a tough one.
We wouldn't do that unless Lee told us that he's walking away from it. So
we don't like stepping on
the M420.
so.
Lee was going to do it, and he said, "Nah, I'm not going to do it." So that's what we did. Yeah, so
And we do talk, like when it comes to stuff like that, we talk to other manufacturers to make sure we're not overlapping or duplicating anything. So sometimes.
yeah, I mean, sometimes manufacturers announce all of our models as competing models. But I really believe that in a peeing contest, nobody wins and everybody gets wet.
Yeah.
So if we know that a really high-end model is coming out from one of our fellow manufacturers, we won't bring up the same thing.
No.
You know, but if total FOOB job's coming out, we can do the accurate one. We have no qualms. about announcing a better model.
Yeah.
John in Cleveland would like to know when we can come down so that he can buy us all a beer.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, next time we're in Cleveland.
Yeah,
I have never been in Cleveland.
bit of a problem right now.
Right now.
Yeah, I don't think we're unless
So all right.
we can get ourselves designated as an essential service, we could probably get across the border.
We were supposed to be in Erie, Pennsylvania to record the M420 this week.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
I'm supposed to be there right now. I think I'm supposed to be doing that recording tomorrow.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I
was supposed to be with Gomez in Nebraska next week to meet with our friends at Heartland Hobby Wholesale.
I was flying to Los Angeles on Friday. Not flying to Los Angeles anymore.
The M420 tour, because we haven't announced any dates, is still on. We're just going to keep punting it until we're allowed to take it on travel. I should advise you, though, because there have been some misinformation or misunderstanding going around. Goods are still crossing the border, and we are shipping. We've been shipping out FA2s all week and FB2s.
Yep, the distributors went out today.
Yeah, the day and earlier in the week.
Yeah.
So they've gone out already. The stores are going out tomorrow. Direct orders are going out next day. We're shipping out FA2s, FB2s, and guys, we're all stuck at home. So it's a great time to work on your trains.
Exactly.
So I want to see all sorts of awesome shots of your FA2s and FB2s with weathering and soot on the roof, all that kind of stuff on our Facebook page.
Yeah, because we're going to need some new content because we're not exactly going to be in the office to create.
Here's a photo of Jordan in his room. Here's
the dining room table.
Here's the 14th photo this week of Jason working on his layout.
Which is what you see when you subscribe to his...
Yes, he's subscribed to Kingston Sub by Jason Shron. You can see all sorts of photos of the three of us working on my layout.
Yeah. There's kind of a joke we've got going around that every photo is a picture of... it's usually a picture of me holding a cup of tea and a wrench or a drill or something like that. And the pictures of him are... You've got your goggles on and a drill and something else, a sander.
Hey, it's come along.
We got
Deck 2 is fully powered, except not the frogs yet. The fascia.
It's Austin Powers fascia.
I'll have this painted by the end of next week.
Yeah.
Sanded and painted. So it's coming along. And then I got to put the switch machines in, finish wiring up Deck 2 to the main power bus.
I'll Skype you and then I can watch you paint and then claim that I'm working from my living room.
Great.
Although I am disappointed, I've been stuck in that Helix for the last 3.5 years.
Okay, that is social isolation. You can come back and work on a Helix.
Yeah.
Okay. But with the pandemic, I might just stay in there.
You can just stay in the Helix.
Just bring me tea.
Hang on a second, guys. If you haven't seen the Helix,
You're moving the camera.
I'm moving the camera. Okay, that's my Helix.
You're still plugged in, by the way.
I'm glad. That's my Helix. That's a 36-inch inside radius, 38.25 outside radius.
And if you subscribe to his Kingston Sub page, you can see dozens of photos of his Helix.
You're not nice
in
to me.
various stages of.
You're not nice to me.
You can see Gomez with his longer
Just
hair.
for that.
I want to check to see that I'm actually in the shot.
Just for that, the next project that I do with SP.
You're blocking the YouTube video.
Well, that's fine.
Oh yeah, keep forgetting that we're filming over there too.
Yeah. Hi everybody over there. We haven't looked at the whole video.
I've kind of been staring in that general direction, so
Whatever works.
yeah.
Let's see. Another CM Jeep 9 request. An MP36.
Really? That's the first request I've ever heard for an MP36.
You never know.
Never.
Do they ever pull comets?
Ooh. I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
I know there's some in Chicago.
Well, they don't
See, that's the thing. I don't know much about the
Mm-hmm.
MPI series. I mean, I know Go has them, and there's a couple of stragglers elsewhere.
Right.
West Coast Express has one. Beyond that, it's not my thing. Let's see what else we got.
That it?
It's.
Can we wrap?
What time is it anyway?
The current time is 8:55.
We can go for a little while longer.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'm going for that.
Everyone seems to be trailing on with this GP40 TC comment.
You know, Matt has a way of hijacking almost any thread that we have on Facebook.
Is it Matt and then a whole bunch of other people named...
Maybe Alex?
I haven't noticed Alex, actually. If he's there, say something so I can eventually scroll through and see your text. Someone wants sweeps.
Sweeps are cool.
They're very cool. That's a lot of tooling changes.
Yeah, we can't...
Pretty much
use
everything.
anything. I think we can use the trucks.
The trucks. And,
Couplers.
But we need trucks and couplers. We need new pilots, new steps.
A
new cab.
All new. Can I just say that
a body for a Jeep 9 or a hood anyways, so... Yeah.
So, I remember the conversation when Dan comes to my office, Dan Darnell, and says, you know, we should really do the 1200. We've done the 1200 RS, and I think we can do the SW1200 with just a few slide changes and a new frame. And like 4 frames, 10 shells, 12 hood, 12 cabs later.
Yeah, we're up to like 12 cabs, I think. And
and
18 different fuels.
The last time that I approve a model without seeing all the variations at first. So when it came to the H16, I kept on telling John, who's the project manager, John Sheridan, I just said, no. And he actually finally broke it out for me. Mm-hmm. These are the slides you'll need. Yeah. Because we learned our lesson from the 1200. 1200.
But you wanted to do every road name with the one body.
Let's just do one body, one style. No. Do every paint scheme.
No.
There's a guy here. He wants to know the update on the turbulent. I think his name is Dave Abelis. Abeliz. Is that how you pronounce it, Dave?
Hi, Dave. Dave, you missed the beginning of the talk. We talked about Turboliner like an hour ago.
We did. No, hold on. Hey, Dave. And then I keep walking.
You should now walk off and don't over the cables.
I trip over the cable.
Yeah, you know we could have plugged that cable in on this side of the room.
Probably.
Never thought of that, huh?
Well, yeah, the extension cord's over there.
They can't see that.
Right. Turboliner, we don't yet know what the orders are. We will be looking at those order numbers once.
But we know whose layout we're going to do some filming on when they do come in, right?
Sure. I always like to go to New Jersey.
Yeah,
and I can stop.
Nice drive.
Stop in Manhattan on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Go to 2nd Avenue Deli.
All right, it's a bit out of the way, but
it's on the way.
Okay, Jordan, you and me, we can just go to the layout. Jason can go to the deli.
Yeah,
that's works. A really good deli. Their matzo ball soup. They bring you this massive matzo ball.
Yeah.
In a bowl.
Okay.
And then they bring you the soup separately. You pour it onto the matzo ball.
But I like Conrail.
You like almost any American road.
Penn Central, Conrail, Amtrak, SP, Santa Fe.
Right.
Had a couple of people requesting the APTE come out again.
What are your thoughts on that? Not too long ago, weren't you?
The plan is for the APTE to come out again.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Sooner rather than later.
It's been almost
4 years. Almost 4 years.
No, more than that.
It was mid 2016.
Oh no, because that's when Dan was in China when my first week, and he was. I just remember seeing the photo, and he's just like, looks like he's half asleep, just standing over a sea of APTEs at the factory.
Dan came back. I sent him to China for 3 weeks to do HPTE QC quality control, and he comes back from China, and he'd always said he goes to Portugal all the time. He can handle jet lag. He doesn't get jet lag. So he comes back from China, and he shows up in the office like 2 days later. And I said, "What are you doing here, Dan?" And he says, "I don't know, just something's wrong." I said, "Really?" Yeah, something's wrong. "Oh, yeah?" "Yeah." I said, "Let me guess, Dan. You feel like garbage, your tummy is upset, you don't know which way's up, you think the sky is falling and life sucks and then you die." He says, "Yeah." I said, "You're jet lagged, go home." Having been to China 21 times, I have experienced... Day 2.
21 times now?
21 times. Day 2. My first time was in summer 2004.
If you go 25 times, is the next one free?
I think so. But day 2 is always the worst. When you come back, day 2 is killer.
All
just
right.
Killer.
Sure.
Yeah. What can you do?
Okay, so APTE. There was another one. Oh, what's the update on EP5?
EP5 is a good question. So,
when you do that, then skip it for 1 sec.
Okay, don't fall in. You can move that cabling. So the EP5, which is New Haven Electric, we've had samples now for a year, something like that. But we're not happy with the pantograph design and function. So we are working with, we redesigned the pantograph. John Sheridan redesigned it. It's now totally out of etched and stamped metal, so that it works much more reliably. It was before die cast. So that's one huge improvement. And then we're working with our friends at ESU to use, that's the door, to use their pantograph mechanisms. So there's still some fixing that needs to happen. As soon as we have a sample that Mohan is happy with, John is happy with, we will do a final video, announce the final deadline, because it's tooled. All we're doing is tweaking what goes on under the roof, and then the actual pantographs themselves. So every newsletter we send out, the first 5 emails is why is there no EP5 update? So because we've had nothing to update you with, we haven't put an update in there. So that's where the EP5 is. As soon as it's ready, we're ready to start production. It's good to go. And the orders are pretty good too, so it's good.
All right. Actually, speaking of pantographs, would we ever consider doing the Pennsylvania E44?
My view is electrics tend to be a tough sell. The EP5 orders are okay, they're good. But certainly for the amount we tooled, if you look at the FL9 sales versus the EP5, I think our FL9 orders were double the EP5 orders. In terms of dollar amount, so I'm saying that in quantity, because the EP5 is a little more expensive, quantity is a lot more for the FL9. Diesels are much easier they're much more portable. So certainly we'd be open to doing more electrics, but let's try and get the first electric out first, and then we can look at other electrics.
The other thing too is electrics are generally very regional, which is why I think so few have been made.
Right.
So, okay, John Sheridan, you need to go to bed when you're asking questions like this. How about the dreaded C415?
The C415 that has, what is it, 3 different cabs and 3 different cabs, 3 different types of truck, 3 different types of hood.
VIA and CN didn't own it, so I really don't know anything about it.
SP owned them though.
Okay.
It's an off-center center cab Alco.
Yeah.
Look, it honestly looks like someone tried to make a bigger GE 44 tonner, and it just didn't work. It looks very unique. It's got a cult following.
It was basically it was a every railroad had custom.
Was it like a
features.
GMD1 for Alco?
Kind of.
Only the difference is you
in its own
had
right.
different cab heights, and some had short cabs, some had tall cabs.
Yeah.
They're very cool.
Why don't we just do the Ford switcher? Weren't there like 4 of those?
Yeah, those are cool.
Hey, why don't we do a GMD H1?
Right. Yeah, well.
Bust out this 3D scanner for that one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll sell almost 6.
That's almost twice production. What's the update on 6133 in Edmundston?
Oh,
Yeah, there's been some news on that lately.
Lots of
news. So I know Chris had a bit of a session on both of them.
week-long blitz last week.
Yep, on Edmundston and the RDC.
And we had a lot of people helping us.
Yep.
Steve came in from Florida.
Yep.
We had George and Jeff coming from the GTA.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We had Terry Johnson came in from Chatham.
Yep.
That was a very good week.
Oh yeah,
Edmundston 6133.
I know I think the RDC. What was it? What's that part that Chris has been working on?
Pump.
The pump. The heat pump.
So
It's a pump. Anyways,
Chris might be watching. He's
probably
guys.
yeah.
I can open up my computer. It's upstairs. I read all about the fuel pump, air pump, heat pump, something pump.
Yeah, but he's basically disassembled it and rebuilt it. So
and 6133 we've discovered is leaking in some strange places.
Yeah.
Chris has been chasing leaks for a while.
Yeah.
He's actually kind of hitting his head against the stainless steel on 6133 a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
But Edmundston.
Is that like how I lived? I lived in the ceiling, in the roof of Edmundston for about 10 days in July 2016.
Yes.
It
was
in the
45
summer.
degrees.
Yeah.
Celsius.
Yeah, 45 Celsius in an enclosed metal case that's painted black in the sun. So.
How many pounds did you lose?
That's why you're so slim.
Believe it or not, before that, Jordan was about 200 pounds.
Yeah. Okay.
They're coming along.
Yeah, they are.
As I mentioned before on a previous Facebook Live, we're really trying to start a VIA Historical Association for all this equipment, the LRC, Evanston 6133, and more stuff. But the biggest challenge there is that VIA is a railway, they're not a museum. So obviously their priorities are elsewhere, especially with all the, they first had rail blockades, which were suspending service, and now they've got the coronavirus killing their patronage. So it's been this is going to be remembered as the annus horribilis for Via Rail.
Hey, on the bright side of things, they do have a new fleet coming in starting late next year. They're supposed to get the first one.
The start.
Yeah.
In the 2020s.
They're in the works. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, all those new Siemens cars. Apparently, Via Rail is supposed to get the first cab cars built.
Really?
Not Caltrains.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
sorry, Caltrans, not Caltrains. Let's see. We've been cutlered.
Oh no.
Paul Cutler would like to correct us that the MBTA has 2 MP36s which would pull comet
Oh
cars.
yes, I forgot about those. Yes.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Cutler, the second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Actually, there's a bunch of people that said the same. Apparently, they're also in Utah, which pull Comet 1s, which we haven't done, at least not yet.
Correct.
But we did. Well, remember that we did look at some Comet ones. Josh and I did when we were in New Jersey, and you didn't really know how to measure though.
Yeah, that was my attempt at measuring a coupler over a diaphragm.
Hanging upside down in the vestibule, trying to measure the draft gear on an angle.
You know, it's even funnier watching the screen over here, the time delay, and your arms just start flailing for no reason.
Oh yeah.
Another person wants GP40 TCs. Okay, would the following of Matt Donnelly please stop? We know he has a fan club.
Okay, just remember, the most requested model ever on our Facebook page was the Turbo Liner. So unless you've all ordered like 25 each and you just haven't told anybody yet,
I ordered 25.
Is the RS18U a possibility?
Yes.
Or for that matter, the built new low nose RS18s?
the built new low nose, no. The RS18.
Those were oddballs.
They're oddballs, and they're like that.
The-
We have a
the-
video on our
so.
Go to our videos on our Facebook page, and you
Yep.
can watch the Gimli whiskey train being pulled by one of those RS18s.
Yeah, that was a neat video actually.
That was our most popular Facebook video ever, but it's a really boring train run by video. But the fact that it's pulling like 8 tank cars full of whiskey, that seemed to get people excited.
And 8 is the number of those units we could probably sell.
But RS18U is a definite
Oh
possibility.
yeah, I mean, how can we not?
We have a dealer open house in the end of June, and we tend to announce new stuff then.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a time for announcing more stuff.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of we got a lot of interesting stuff coming this year.
I just hope that we're gonna be able to do it. I'm like, honestly, guys, who knows, right? And at this point, who knows? We're in unprecedented times.
Yeah.
So everyone's just got to keep calm and carry on and just make do. But in terms of shows, tours, announcements, we're going to keep making stuff and we're going to keep announcing stuff. We just don't know exactly when we'll do it.
Yeah.
This Facebook and our YouTube channel and our newsletters, which are the most popular, is the best way to keep in touch with what we're doing. And we'll look, honestly, a lot of people are being told, go home and work on your layout for 2 weeks. Like, okay.
Yep.
So we've had a number of stores contact us and say, I need more stuff because everyone's ordering stuff. So if especially stores that deal in mail order.
A lot of detail parts too. We've had a lot of wheels and trucks and just stuff like that moving out the door the last week or two.
If you work for a store and you don't do mail order, you're missing out. Now is the time to do mail order. Go to the post before we're all told to close up shop. Send out as much as you can.
All right, so we got an interesting question. So this is more a matter of opinion. This doesn't even involve Rapido to an extent. So I'm going to ask Jordan first.
Okay.
If there was one locomotive you wanted to make, regardless of budget, restrictions, anything like that, if there was one locomotive you wanted to make, what would it be? And his head just exploded.
He's got a list.
I might have to think about. Well, I already know what he wants. He wants S13s. You want S13s?
But is that his one locomotive though?
Oh, he's already made all of those.
Okay, we'll leave you to
I gotta
work
think
on
about
that. I
that
smell
for a
burnt toast over here.
Uh-oh.
Jason, same question for you. If there was one locomotive that you would
One
want to make,
locomotive.
yes, that you would want to make, what would it be?
It would be another run of the turbo. Does that count?
Kind of.
Could. I mean, it's been done technically.
Yeah, but it ran terribly. I mean, I've had to work really hard to get my one turbo working. The second one, I worked on it for a year, couldn't get it run, even with new single axle trucks. Yeah, the S13 is needed for my layout because that's Spadina, but I'm not passionate about the S13.
What are you passionate about then?
Turbo.
Other than turbo. You can't say turbo. That doesn't count. It can't be phase 2.
Turbo? It's right over
Why
there.
are you pointing at him?
It's behind Josh.
It's behind me.
Oh, okay.
I honestly have, apart from the S13, I have the locomotives I need for my layout. Because certainly I need some more CN freight equipment,
Yep.
freight locomotives, but that's not what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about VIA, and I have the VIA stuff. And, you know, what pulled the VIA stuff, I have that as well.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's, you know, it was CNR 3100 RS18s, right? So, I guess the one locomotive I want the most is an S13.
I guess for me, something Amtrak from the 70s.
What, like an E8?
You could sell a couple. They had E9s too.
I think I know what Jordan's thinking. It's the first letter of P.
They had those too.
Oh, you want a pooch, don't you?
Oh, I've got one in brass. But I would, yeah, actually, yeah, I
Is
could
Dan
go with
painting
that.
your pooch too?
It's already painted.
Oh,
It's
okay.
factory paint.
Yeah, he was smart. He got it pre-painted.
I got a good deal on it. But yeah.
Nobody wants a pooch.
Okay. GE 6-axle power,
Uh,
or more 4 axles.
GE 6-axle power like everyone's doing? You just
Okay.
want us to manufacture GEVOs so you get them real cheap.
I don't want Gevos.
Oh, what do you mean?
You think I want Gevos? There weren't any Gevos in 1979.
All right.
So.
Any more questions, or can we wrap it up?
see, people keep commenting so fast. I'm having a hard time
Just
keeping up.
give us one good question.
One good question. Oh God.
And if you do have any more questions, just keep posting them on here. We'll probably go back and.
Yeah, we'll go back and we'll text.
Well, yeah, well,
responses.
when I'm sitting at home for the next 3 weeks,
Doing nothing.
Given
doing
Jordan something
nothing,
to do.
I will.
I think we should have
answer all your
a
questions.
Jordan Smith ask me anything, just like daily.
Okay.
This is me eating lunch.
This is Jason taking out the garbage.
Okay, so in response to the pooch, let's see. Someone said, I'll take a pooch. Matt Donnelly, who obviously has nothing else better to do tonight, says, y'all need to make the Amtrak auto train from 1983 to 94.
Didn't
John
that have
Sheridan.
XCN boxcars?
They were CN boxcars.
They were.
I've been telling you to
Yeah.
make those for years.
Yeah, I'd make those.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've actually been running some at my club, and they derail.
We didn't manufacture those.
Well, I know. I mean, so we need to make one that doesn't derail.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
You know, the turbo actually can handle almost any track work. It's quite spectacular. If it will run at all, it can go over anything. Like number 4 crossovers.
Mm-hmm. Like your turbo that has. So Jason's turbo has a permanently flat wheel. Someone did an emergency brake application and it just goes around the layout. Thump, 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 thump.
No, the axle split again. So you can't send in your turbos to be repaired by Rapido.
Oh, yeah,
Because long ago, I hoarded all of the replacement axles.
And he's run
And
through this.
I just run through it every time.
Yeah,
I
and
break, I
speaking
gotta
of that,
replace.
we're really sorry, but if you do have a turbo, we really, as much as
please,
we'd like to,
you
we
can't
can't
send
help you.
stuff to us that was like released 12 years ago and
Yeah.
expect us to be able to fix it. We can't. We don't have any, like, all kidding aside, we don't have parts for stuff from 12 years ago. I mean, like, you know, call Corgi and have them fix your yellow submarine that you bought in 1969. Like, it's just not, it's not gonna, well, actually, they re-released the yellow submarine. That's a bad example.
Okay. I'm sure you're the only person that knows that.
A lot of people know that. It's a great model.
Ian Deck.
The Beatles pop up from the hatches. I got one in the next room.
That's true.
Ian Deck wants to know if we'll ever have Sheldon Cooper on one of our videos.
I would love it. You know that when The Big Bang Theory was on, I would keep sending them models. And
you kept getting me to send them T-shirts.
T-shirts, models, posters. I sent them so much stuff, and we got the address off of somewhere on the internet, and they were all signed for and accepted. And someone in Los Angeles has nothing to do with Big Bang Theory has got a pile of Rapido swag because they never responded.
Walking along Hollywood Boulevard in a bunch of nerd shirts, and I'd rather be on British Rail T-shirts. That we sold about 6 of those. And gave away 200. So.
We sent everything to Big Bang Theory, and they never put it. I even sent them a poster inviting them to come film the show in my basement.
I'm sure they got 3 million emails saying the same.
They were sent by courier. I said UPS was.
Oh, there you go. That's all you need. That's all you need to send something by courier to a celebrity, and you're guaranteed to get a response.
You know, in the 1970s, people would send letters to the Doctor Who production office, and they would get a tour. Okay? I sent model trains with hundreds. I sent them a turbo train. No response.
Maybe that's why. You sent them a broken turbo train, and they're like, thanks a lot.
I was hoping that Sheldon would, make fun of it on. Do you know when they did the episode?
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Well, they did the episode on the Napa Valley wine train. I don't know. I didn't realize it was on, but we had a flurry of orders for Napa Valley FPA 4s. Do you remember
we should make more of those.
And then that was the episode where Sheldon's on this Valentine's Day thing with his girlfriend, and he meets another foamer, and they start talking trains.
Yeah.
So everyone was texting my wife saying, Sadura, your life is on television right now.
Yes.
All right. So the next question I have is actually something me and Jordan have been talking about lately.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Jordan?
Jordan and I. Thanks, dictionary.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Yes. Would Rapido ever consider doing viewliners?
Oh yeah, we had a chat about this today.
Okay, is it only Amtrak people? Is it Matt Donnelly and his friends and relations are the only people on our Facebook channel right now?
Okay, first you complained about it only being Canadian stuff. Now we're talking about Amtrak, which is not Canadian. What do you want from us?
Okay, sorry, continue.
I really like the viewliners, especially the baggage cars, because they are everywhere.
It's
system-wide.
It's actually very...
Out west.
It's very difficult to model an Amtrak train. I think it's post 2005 or something like that, without a viewliner baggage car.
All the trains have a viewliner baggage.
The viewliner baggage cars were just delivered 5 years ago.
Yeah, and now they're everywhere.
So 2015.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
515 potato tomato.
Baggage cars, baggage dorms, the dining
sleepers,
cars.
diners.
25 sleepers coming, or something like that. I probably did that wrong, and Matt's probably correcting me right now, but...
I'll scroll up and wait for the post, because I know it's coming. Let's see. Lots of comments. Oh, Renaissance coaches. Via Renaissance coaches, the Eurofleet, if you will.
Right.
Hot topic.
I would love to make Renaissance cars. I would love to make Renaissance cars.
Would they sell, though?
You have to make service, sleeper, you don't really have to do a dining car, coach, and transition car. So it's a minimum of 4 different cars.
The problem is they're very, very, very regional.
Yes,
as
they ran for a while between Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, but now they're just between one train set between Ottawa and Quebec City and 1.5 train set between Montreal and Halifax.
Yep. And they're on the way out too. I mean, they're running on borrowed time.
They are heavily corroding, and because they're a monocoque construction, you can't just the sides are structural. You can't just weld in a new sheet. So the Renaissance cars, I would love to do them at some point. I don't know if it's possible. I think there are other Canadian passenger cars we could do before the Renaissance cars. Let's put it that way.
All right. Let's see. James Hoffman says you're ignoring the O&R crowd. No, we're not. We showed you the diner. Show them the diner again.
And the we did the gondolas not too long ago, and we did F units. We did the FP7s just 8 months ago. That wasn't even a year ago.
Can I point out, as I did before, that we're doing 2 O&R diners, and the painting on the 2 of them are completely different.
No, they're
So,
not.
yeah, the stripes go the other way.
Okay.
I did the artwork on those. You started it, and I finished it.
Okay.
The stripes go the other way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
O&R's cool though.
It's a cool looking car.
You could do the Northlander.
No.
So, because Rapido is all about being a bunch of oddballs, Aaron would like to know if we would ever consider doing the CN articulated grain car, the one and only.
If every Canadian modeler who models that era and that railroad bought one, we might break even.
Did they go south of the border? I don't know.
It's one. It's one car.
Oh, I know
It was-
that.
it was
Did they go
domestic.
south of the
There's
border?
no-
It was not international
It's
service.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where did it go? It's one car.
Now that being said, we could always do the Santa Fe 5-unit articulated hopper.
Right. No.
It was the same thing, but only 5 cars.
I have a funny story that my friend Richard, who I don't think he's on Facebook, so he's not watching. But when I first started Richard, without Richard, there would have been no Supercontinental line because he helped me design it from the ground up. And at one point he calls me up and said, Jason, I think you should do Mount Roll Club. And I said, yeah? Why? He said, it's a unique car, you sell thousands of them. Mount Royal Club was one car, one of a kind, that CN rebuilt from a coach because they needed an additional first-class car, club car in Canada. And so I said, Richard, do you need Mount Royal Club? Well, no, I made it from your coach. I said, and I made it from Athabasca car size. So 2 of the 11 people who would buy Mount Royal Club don't need it.
Yep.
Right, so the problem with those one-offs is that they sometimes have great difficulties selling. Yeah, Richard is much more experienced in model train manufacturing now, and he and I are working on some more passenger cars together.
Ooh.
So yes, we are.
Can you say which ones?
No,
Oh,
they've got wheels and diaphragms.
I hope so. As
Yes.
long as they're not sitting on cinder blocks.
No, they got wheels and diaphragms. Are we done? Is that it?
Oh, we got Mohan watching now.
Uh-oh.
This cannot be good. We now have to behave because
I'm clearly said something amiss if our COO is tuned into Facebook.
would we ever make any passenger cars to run with the Hudson? And I believe the person is talking about the CP Curveside
2200s?
cars. Yes, 2200s and all those other numbers.
Very possibly. The challenge with CP curbside cars, I think most of them were Angus built, right?
Angus or NSC?
Right. The problem is that they were all random lengths. So you can't use one body.
Not if you stick to the 22s.
If you,
You're
just
thinking
do
of the older
22s,
You're thinking of like the 21s, like they have.
Yeah, they were all
the
random
combines,
lengths.
the baggage cars,
they
the
weren't all the
coaches.
same.
Yeah. Well, if we
Yeah.
ever did a Jubilee.
Okay, moving right along.
All right.
So the answer is possibly.
Yeah. You got my vote, so.
I don't need them for my layout though. I really need a club lounge.
Via used them to what? 80? Didn't they borrow them till about 80? They never
Yeah,
painted
they
them. but
ran like through
80,
Van
81.
Cleek Hill.
Okay.
That's really far from here.
It's a beautiful town, though.
This is downtown Toronto. That's Scarborough. This is Pickering, Kingston, Brockville. Is nowhere near Van Cleek Hill.
No,
Okay.
Sorry.
we're online too. Would we ever consider making the X2000 to go with the X2000 scheme turboliner set?
Has nobody done that in Europe
I'm
yet?
sure
I'm
every-
sure
No,
someone-
they have. Someone has.
Every
has.
train that moves an inch in Europe gets a model.
Yeah.
And they sell
By
thousands.
by
They sell
3
thousands.
different manufacturers, probably.
So last time I checked, the combined DC and DCC sales of the X2000 demonstrator set was 8.
Oh no, there's
my-
more. We've sold some more, so we're up to 12 now.
We haven't checked this week, but
Well, I knew it was a Hail Mary, but
as of 2 weeks ago, we'd sold 8.
Okay.
If you want an X2000 demonstrator turboliner, please order it now. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Because even if we quintupled the order, we'd have trouble making it.
You should still make it anyway.
Why? Are you going to order the other, 80 that we need to sell?
Okay. I already ordered 30 sets.
Great. How much are you paying for those sets? Employee discounts.
Let's see. Has it been an hour? It actually has been an hour.
Yeah, I've been trying to wrap up for the last half an hour.
I'm having fun.
Someone.
I do, actually.
Seriously?
Yeah. These are
Do
expensive,
you know that I wear these steel-toed shoes everywhere, including to synagogue?
Yeah. And you
I have one pair of shoes.
You also wore those corduroy bell-bottoms to graduation, school,
Prom, wedding.
prom, wedding, your first job interview.
I have lots of corduroy.
Your second job
This
interview.
is my favorite. This is my favorite pair.
When you bought the house, when your kids were born.
They're made in England at a place called Fuzz Dandy in Greater London. They manufacture them in the UK.
And Jason is
I'm supporting the UK economy.
He's single-handedly keeping this business in business. So,
I am. They're really good.
yeah.
They sent me one pair of green corduroy bell bottoms, but they were so low cut that it was R-rated. So I sent them back, and they sent me new brown corduroy bell bottoms.
Is that like your leprechaun jacket that you got Dan to wear a couple years ago? And you remember that one?
No, what was that?
Remember your green corduroy jacket, and it came from, it was down to your knees, but it was too small. And then we sent it back, and it got lost somewhere in England.
That wasn't a green. No. That was a naval jacket. That was a British.
That was a different
A
one.
Royal
That was the one that got lost.
Navy,
Yeah.
and they came back, and now I can wear it if I don't breathe.
Aye, Captain.
We got a lot of complaints on Facebook because I was wearing a science division Starfleet uniform on my birthday, and I had captain's pips on.
Yeah.
We are a science vessel. I'm allowed to have
Okay.
captain pips.
All right.
All right. We make new stuff.
Yes, we do.
Crap, I saw the question where it was, will we ever consider doing a conditional run for the old steam generator?
I don't even think it would have to be conditional.
It would not have to be
No,
conditional.
no.
Not this time. Didn't we try before I was hired?
No, we were doing it, but then the molds got toast. And
The molds were gabbage. Gabbage molds.
Yes, but the molds are being fixed.
They are. They are. That's they're working on that now, I think. Maybe.
Possibly.
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 Yeah, so,
I did say in the last newsletter that there was going to be a
Mhm.
old Rapido products resurrected.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And not just one, we want to do more, right?
there's
Resurrect them all.
I have a steam Jenny above your head. It's in the staging yard. I had to get it off of this deck because we were drilling, and I already sent one tempo to the ground.
He's been stealing my Via Steam Jenny on a monthly basis from my office for the last 3 years.
I stopped after a year and a half.
I steal all the cars from your desk.
By the way,
and I have
That was
to
a great station wagon I had for about a year.
I knew it was there, but you were also missing a few things off of your shelf that you still haven't noticed yet. So.
I also gained a very yellow freight cart today. Someone just left it on my desk.
Oh, is that still there? Oh yeah. Oops.
I put it back on your
Oh,
desk.
speaking of very yellow freight cars, we have
okay.
to report that the USRA boxcars are all leaving the factory except for THMB yellow because
no.
one
What
of
did you do?
our numbers was incorrect. So the factory has to redo one of the cars. The problem is there were only 2. And we managed to get them 50% wrong.
Is it a sealed 2-pack? It's a sealed 2-pack.
It's a 2-pack.
Oh.
And so we have to hold all the THMB yellow cars. They had 2 cars, and we got the number wrong on one of them.
But that's not going to take them 6
won't-
months to redo, is it?
No, it won't take very long. It's going to take a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But I won't say which of our employees did the artwork for that.
Jason, are you getting a cold?
I think I'm getting a cold.
Speaking of things that we have in the factory, replacement truck side frames going soon, I think.
Yeah,
You were on the horn with Huang about that.
Yes, if all goes according to plan, the PO will go to the factory tomorrow or Friday. So, and that's replacement side frames, and we'll also have an instruction video on how to replace your side frames, and hopefully it'll be fairly painless.
Yeah. I thought the numbers, we gave them, because they wanted more numbers from us.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we gave them the numbers 2 months ago.
No, and Lister gave me the total numbers earlier this week, so I've since used that.
Okay.
So it's all good. I'm on top of it, boss.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. So those will be here within a month, probably.
Yeah.
We'll send them my career.
Yeah.
We may not be in the office, but they'll be here.
They'll just be sitting in a box on the doorstep.
On the curb. A box full of ciphers, along with all our other packages sitting on the curb.
We'll show up. We'll show up at the office after a month, and there'll just be this soggy box sitting in front of the office.
Actually, I think we're gonna have to have everything sent here to my house. Yeah,
all the pallets.
Not the pallets.
You've done that before, though. You did that.
Yeah.
once,
So, Rapido in December 2012. We moved from our old location, but the new location wasn't ready yet, so we moved here. Luckily, the layout hadn't even really started at that point. And we were here for a month, and we received a shipment of Osgood Bradley coaches on my driveway. And Dan and I had to hand bomb them into the house, into the basement right here. And then we laid out the shipment here in the basement. We picked them back and shipped them out from here.
Nice.
And in the transition, we were taking orders at the time for the F9B locomotives, CN and Via. And my buddy Jeff sent in an order for over 200 of them. And I wrote back to him, yeah, no problem. Never printed the order, never entered the order.
Oops.
And then they arrived and couldn't ship them the order.
Oops.
It's a problem when you try and run a business from your house for a month. Janet was working in the guest room. I was, and I just launched the Train in the Basement video, so we had media coming in every day. CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, was here. All the television stations were here. NBC did a thing, it was all over. And at the same time, we're trying to run a company from this basement. It's come a long way since then, eh?
A little bit. We've grown a little bit in the last 6 months, year.
More than that. Now we started our growth. So that was 2013. By 2016, we were double the size we were in 2013.
Yeah.
And by 2019, we were double the size we were in 2016. So the growth has been fairly steady. But the trouble is, it's very difficult to run a company this size than to run a very, if you're only getting 3-4 shipments a year, it's very easy to run a company.
That's how I was able in 2016. Gomez and I were able to spend all summer in the ceiling of Edmonton and cutting out steam lines.
Now the last 6 times I've asked Josh to come help me in the layout, he's been able to come once. Because he just had too much work to do. And so the company boss is asking the employee, come play in the basement for a few hours, and the employee's saying, I have too much work to do. Go away.
Although at least I can use that as an excuse if something doesn't get done. I had too many layout days.
You've had one layout day since August.
I know.
That Helix doesn't get built by itself,
I'm well aware.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck in it.
Yeah.
Throw us another question.
Oh, did you see how Jordan took down all your nice buttons, all your switches?
Oh yeah, we
I
had to
saw
do that because
We put the fascia in, so we had to take out your switches.
Fascia.
Give me another question. You're still getting questions?
Yes. Will we ever do an HR 616?
My guess is no, because it's a Canada unique engine that ran for 18 years, if that?
They were gone in 98.
16 years.
Now that being said, there's still
lasted longer.
There's still a half dozen sitting somewhere in a scrap line.
Seriously?
I thought they finally went away.
Are they gone now? I don't know.
Maybe.
They were
I don't know.
down.
You know what? Remember, as you get older, your understanding of these things just gets all scrambled.
Just look at Gomez.
Look at Gomez. Everything Gomez did was last week, even though he signed himself 20 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
So that half dozen might have been in the scrap line in 2007.
It was not 2007. It was more recent than that.
I was on the train in 1996, or 1994, going to London on the old blue and yellow equipment, and the guy said to me, "Your turbo nut? The turbo was there was one sitting in London. They were sitting in a scrapyard. We'd drive past it. Just go get stuff from it." That was 1975.
Yeah.
And this was 19 years later, and he thought it was still there. Another V employee told me, there's one sitting in Point St. Charles. Right.
Okay.
That was for a period of 2 weeks in 1985 when it was moved from Central Station to Laval to be scrapped.
Mm-hmm.
But in his mind, it was still sitting in Point St. Charles.
Of course.
That was about 1997. They told me that.
Mm-hmm.
I even spoke to the guy at Naparano Metals, New Jersey, who scrapped the turbo to ask if he had anything left, and he told me where I could put it. He said,
It's all right.
"No, it's all gone a long time ago." Essentially, why are you calling me? Go away, you strange person.
So for the HR 616, according to Anthony K, there were a bunch still sitting in NRE in Illinois until recently.
Are they gone now? Finally?
So they might be gone now. He didn't say if they're actually gone or not.
Probably
but I want to say
not
I
in
want to
very
say
good
they are.
condition.
Yeah, they're not ideal.
Considering they've now been sitting in storage longer than they ever were in service.
Well, then again, the last photos I saw, they did look better than that H1644 that we measured. Just a little bit of rust on that, right?
Yeah. Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, it was the Malon garbage scale.
Oh.
I'm not touching that one.
Yeah, you probably don't know what that means either. Inside.
He's not an Next-Gen fan or Voyager.
I'm not a
You're not a
Trekkie.
Trek guy.
No.
So you don't know who put those Star Trek VHS tapes in my office? They just showed up one day.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Seriously?
I never had any VHS.
Check with
I
Darnell.
still don't know who put the Star Trek VHS tapes in my office.
Check with Darnell.
All right.
I do.
Would we ever consider doing a GEP42 or any of the Genesis series?
Yeah, we consider it.
Yeah. Maybe. You never know. Maybe.
Any opinions on Star Trek Picard?
Oh.
Uh, I'm divided. I'm still divided. I
Okay.
like elements of it.
You're out of the band. I could watch it all day.
Everybody's being killed in it.
It is such a wonderful show.
Okay.
All right,
It is a good show.
At the part when somebody, I don't want to spoil it. When somebody was talking to somebody else who was lying in bed, and the somebody was sitting beside the bed, I was crying. Remember the scene? Remember the scene?
I just remember the scene where someone was killed, and the other scene where somebody else that we knew from a long time ago was killed, and then somebody else from the original series that was killed, and
Yeah, they are killing off quite a few characters.
it's
It's an amazing show. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's got its pluses and minuses, but I'm still split. But I'm holding out hope, considering they've renewed it for a second season already. So
And
Discovery's starting in like 2 weeks.
they've renewed it for second season. And who's going to be in it? This is common information, so it's not.
Oh
spoiled.
yeah, it was Guidance.
Okay, now explain the fact that she didn't age a day from 1895
Yeah.
to 2368 or whatever it
And
was,
all of a sudden
and
she's
then
30 years
now
older.
she's 30 years older. Explain that. Okay, all the time in the Nexus aged her.
They could pull what they did with the Irishman and de-age, computer de-age, while still using the actor.
No,
You mean
Yes.
CGI?
no,
Yeah.
we don't want to do that.
Watch the movie. It's on Netflix. It's quite good.
No, I don't do that. I think they have to just explain it away. They have to say that she was caught in a time eddy.
Well, what if Q shows
Yeah.
up? He's got to look 30 years older now too.
I think they have to find a different actor for John DeLancey.
No.
Well, they have to. He's
No.
old. He's 30 years
Get a new
older.
actor for him.
What? So Q's now decided. Well, Picard, you're old, so I'm old too.
Exactly.
Well, explain this, Bucko. Picard's supposed to live like 160, right? He's 30 years older than he was when he was like 49.
Okay.
So why does he look so old?
This has nothing to do with trains, by the way. Let's talk about trains a bit more.
Did anyone notice my shirt?
I think that's where the.
It's not a train shirt.
Let's make it so.
Give us a train question.
This is a birthday present for my wife.
All right. One that we've heard before, actually. Would we ever consider making a Point St. Charles caboose?
No, it's been done already.
Maybe
But-
a hawker or a transfer, maybe. The hawkers are cool and unique.
I have several of these. They're covered in dust because we were sanding the fascia. Isn't that cool?
Is that a Van Hobbies?
Van Hobbies?
Van Hobbies?
Van Hobbies Hawker Siddeley Caboose. But I've already got like 6 of them, so I don't know if I need any more. That's how we decide our products.
Yeah, we only make things that Jason needs for his layout. So there's going to be lots of turboliners running around his layout.
Yeah.
Because
I don't need turboliners.
So if you want to make a marketing push, find us a photo of something that ran on the Kingston sub or anywhere on the CN network.
In 1980?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Do we plan on coming out with any more UK or European trains?
UK, yes, 100%. So with the UK market, we really sort of arrived with a bang in 2014, and we brought out 20 models in 2016, 2017, and 2018, and that each of them won a different Model of the Year award. In some cases, more than one.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Brexit seemed to be very uncertain, we deliberately pulled back from the UK market. The only 2019 release in the UK was a bus.
Yeah. And that was in December.
In November. Now that Brexit has stabilized and there's a firm plan, once this virus outbreak gets settled, and the UK unfortunately has not dealt with it as well as some other countries have, then we absolutely are expanding our UK offerings, and we are in the process right now of designing, or we'll be shortly tooling another bus, and we'll have UK N-Scale and N-Gauge and 00 stuff as well. So we are doing more UK stuff, absolutely. You could expect more announcements over the next year or so. We will actually wait till we have a sample usually before announcing something, because we announce stuff and then we walked away from the UK market.
Yeah.
So we have to rebuild that credibility. So we'll have samples when we announce stuff.
Speaking of buses, we need to make vehicles.
Yes, Jordan wants us to make vehicles.
I need lots of 70s and 80s generic vehicles. Chevys, Hondas, Toyotas,
Fords,
of course.
How about
What
a
else?
Datsun?
No one's done a lot of that.
the original Honda Civic. Oh, there you go.
It's been done.
Yeah. So you two can't see this, but this is hilarious. We actually have two girlfriends of guys that are watching the stream, also on the stream, wanting to know how big their orders actually are. And one of them just happened to be Matt Donnelly's girlfriend or wife.
Wife.
I'm not sure. Wife. Okay. We can't answer those questions.
All right, so I will tell some funny stories. Though we do have people, friends of ours, model railroaders, fellow model railroaders, who arrive with envelopes, and these envelopes have cash, and they make very clear that their wives are not to know that they purchased this thing. So the bank wants to know why we have these cash deposits from all train manufacturer. And that's the Via one.
And now you've given away the secret.
Shh.
So after the comment about Jordan needs more vehicles, someone actually made the comment, how about some Canadian vehicles like Fargo trucks? And I actually want to make note, at one point up until about 6 years ago, my dad owned a 51 Fargo half-ton with an original international crate motor.
Holy
Nice.
crow.
Now it's my uncle-in-law's
Fantastic.
with 3 on the tree, and it's fun to drive.
Fantastic. I have a 1961 Austin FX4 London taxi, which is currently taking up a lot of space in our warehouse.
How far have you driven it since you bought it 3.5 years ago?
It wasn't 3.5 years ago. It might have been 3.5 years ago. I've driven it from our shop to Mario's garage. That's a distance of 2 kilometers.
Now, the nice thing is, Mario, the mechanic, he's on the top of the hill. So when he had to bring the car, when he finally gave up, he put the car at the top of the hill and just pushed it and rolled it by gravity back to the office and into the warehouse.
It didn't make it though because the brakes stick.
Well, it made it to the office, and then when you tried to drive it, the brakes stuck, and then it was stuck in the middle of the parking lot. So,
With the brakes fully applied, and then Mario had it for another year.
and now it's immovable in the warehouse.
So starting next year, Jason is going to be starting the trial and error taxi service with his Austin taxi.
Yeah.
It wasn't the smartest purchase. I'm admitting that now. It wasn't the smartest purchase. It looks really nice, but it wasn't the smartest
Well,
purchase.
it doesn't look really nice at the moment because there's 1.5 inches of dust on it. Because It hasn't moved.
The bus was a smart purchase. The Austin,
Yes.
not so much.
Yeah.
The bus cost a lot less.
And it's a bus.
It's a bus.
Would Rapido ever consider making a BL2?
I've actually asked for a BL2 more than once.
I think that would be cool.
It's like that guy on YouTube. It's a BL2.
I
Oh my
think.
God.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, it would.
That BL2 video got shared with a whole bunch of non-trained people,
Yeah, and probably has like 50 million views.
and we were
people
all
that don't understand.
people were
what
making fun of us.
probably.
I've ridden behind that BL2. It's
When
in
are we doing the scan?
where is it?
Oh, it's they're close.
Pennsylvania.
Actually, I think they're.
Yeah,
no,
it's
that was New
Pennsylvania.
York. There's New York, but I think
Or
they're.
like near Hancock, somewhere like.
Yeah, I
There.
think they closed down. I think
Really? I rode a couple years ago.
maybe it's a different one.
2017. It was a BL2 pulling the train.
Was it blue and yellow?
I don't remember.
Okay. Anyway,
It
that would
wasn't
be. That,
VRCN.
oh, if it's not VRSAM, you
I just
don't know
forget.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be a Southern Pacific Cross Maffei, and you'd be like.
Is that how you pronounce it? I thought it was Kraus Maffei. Is it Kraus Maffei?
I don't know. I just know it's really cool.
It's
Okay.
pronounced exactly the way it's spelt.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I'm only answering this one because Ian Deck has asked this probably about 9 or 10 times. No, we will not make a replica kit of Union Station in Toronto, including the train shed.
Okay.
Maybe.
He needs one for his layout.
Yeah, Jason needs one for his layout, so,
So-
if you bribe him, maybe.
My plan is, and this is giving away everything. If you with Kingston Sub, Facebook, and eventually a website, the plan is to. I have to design. Brockville Station is almost fully designed. Gilwood is in process, and we have a laser cutter now. And so our plan is to release them as limited edition kits of the different stations and buildings that are built for the Kingston Sub. So Union Station is necessary, and so very possibly there will be a Union Station kit.
Mhm.
It's going to be really, really expensive.
Speaking of the Kingston Sub, we need to install. We have Kingston Station now,
Yes,
and we need to put that in my office.
that was built for us
By
John Gregson,
yes.
and we're going to be putting that in your office so that we can take photos and videos. And
Well, it's
stuff.
ready to go now. The office is ready to
The
go.
office ready to go. We have a blue wall that
Yeah.
curves.
We have a blue wall and lots of Amtrak stuff.
But it's some very unique Amtrak stuff.
It's some
One of
very,
a kind,
very-
actually.
One of a kind.
We have a station sign from the turbo train, United Aircraft turbo train. And just to confuse things, it says
Yeah,
turbo liner on
and
it.
I think it was- so-
he took it from my office and put it
Yeah.
in his office.
It was meant for Jordan.
But they actually call it a turbo liner because I think it was around the time when they were still running the Yankee Clipper with the UACs. But that's when the RTGs were starting to run in the Midwest. So
Right,
I
they
think
wanna
that's why they were
unify-
called,
Yeah,
exactly.
they want to unify their
Yeah,
branding.
Either way, it's a really cool sign. And it's on my wall now.
And now we're getting a whole bunch of requests for random stations, like we got the Central New Jersey Elizabeth Broad Street Station,
Okay. I'm going to lay them out for you.
Richmond, Quebec Grand Trunk Station,
Guildwood Station, Pickering Station, Oshawa Station, Kingston Station, Brockville Station. Those are first on my list.
So you can basically have any station you want as long as it's from the Kingston Sub.
As long as we sub, and it's of the
Yeah.
modeled portion in this basement.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've got drawings for most of them, so all of them actually. So I'll be building them from the drawings. Laser cut kits, limited edition.
Yep.
and according to Luke, that BL2 you rode behind is for sale.
Oh yeah?
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
I don't think there's any room
Paint it
for it in
via.
the VIA Historical Association.
Or paint it and go, like the one report that was released a number of years ago.
Oh really?
Yes, they had a
Go
rendering
mock-up.
of a Go BL2 pulling bi-level cars.
Nice.
All right, I want to see this now.
I
Pictures-
could probably hook you up.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
So, what do you want to say? 2, 3 more questions?
Sure.
Sure. that's-
Okay. Would Rapido ever consider making the National Steel Car ballast cars from the 70s and 80s?
That's a cool idea.
Yeah. Ballast cars always. Everyone needs ballast cars. Everyone needs lots of ballast cars.
I think that they should have working guys who walk along beside them to open up hoppers.
No, if they're modern cars, though, they have to have working solar panels on the top, so they just go.
Yeah, not in the 70s and 80s.
Not quite.
I was down by the Kingston sub by Guildwood once, right just off the right of way,
And
just
they,
past the fence.
and they dumped a pile of ballast on your head.
And I watched them, and it was a KCS like SD40 or something like that, going really, and the guys walking along beside it, and the dump of
That's
ballast.
because they were ex-CN units.
Really?
GEC also they rebuilt them, leased them back to CN in this all gray.
Yeah, it was a gray KCS. I got photos
Yeah,
of them.
but those were I think most of the KCSs
Those were
they were
ex-CN
ex-CN
SD40s.
SD40s,
Really?
and I believe some of them came back after a while.
You know that these people can now look stuff up on their
Oh,
things
yeah.
and prove you totally
they're
wrong.
probably
They
gonna-
actually came from Louisville, Nashville.
There were a lot of SD40s available back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Central Vermont rebuilt that and numbered it in like the 4800 series.
Mhm. They did have a single, I think it was an ex-Norfolk and Western RS-11.
Please
You
ask
know
the
what-
next question.
Yes.
Well, no, I'll make it as a statement. So I know you said you'll only do kits for stations that are on your layout,
Yeah.
but someone made a comment of a station you probably would make for a diorama. Place Bonaventure.
Oh, I love Place Bonaventure. I actually stay at the Hotel Bonaventure in Montreal whenever I go. And I specifically request the room looking over the tracks. It's like 2017 or something like that, 21, whatever it is, 2217. And you can watch the trains come in and out of the station. And that's where we always go. And except sometimes Place Bonaventure, like the Hotel Bonaventure is usually like $175 Canadian. But sometimes you try and book and it's $500. So when that happens,
Yeah.
it's head out the doorbell.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I haven't been in Montreal since the 90s.
Seriously?
Yeah, you need
No,
to go
no,
back.
Didn't you come on the Ride the Rapido tour?
No, because you did it on Thanksgiving weekend.
Well, that was dumb of you.
Okay.
You missed our own via charter to Montreal.
Yeah, because I was having
Oh
Thanksgiving
my God.
dinner.
What
with
is
the
your
family.
priorities, man?
Says the family man.
Next time. When are we doing another Ride the Rapido? And not probably anytime soon.
Not
but
anytime soon. But yes.
we need to do another Ride the Rapido.
Yes.
Why not?
We are providing the model trains for the HEP1 rebuilds, and VIA is going to help us out with the charter problem.
Yeah. Ooh, we
will,
can do
look at
do
that.
coaches. Now that they got the first XCP rebuild coach out in the new scheme.
Oh. With full steam heated underbody equipment.
Not in 30 years.
Yeah, he's dreaming again. All right. Would we ever consider doing the CN SD50F or 60F?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's a lot of opportunity for those.
definitely. I think those would be a good seller.
Right.
I actually think we'd sell more of those than 420s.
Yeah. They also ran all over the States too.
Yeah.
And out west and everywhere. Until maybe 2 years ago?
I think there's also room for us to do more Dash 8s, but I wouldn't release them as a prime movers.
No. I think it's the Dash 8's in serious need of a thorough upgrade. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Would we ever do any prime movers again, or is that
Prime
kinda-
movers is dead, it's finished.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, we announced a product line 5 years ago called Prime Movers. 5 years ago.
It wasn't that long ago. It was 2018. 2 years ago.
It was
No.
before I started.
No, it was 2015.
Was it that long?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't even working here in 2015.
It was a long time ago.
We released
The
it.
fact that we just brought the well cars out
You announced
last
you
year.
started working on it before I worked here.
Anyway,
But
so we brought it. We
regardless.
thought we called it wife approved pricing. We thought we'd bring out a lower end, less. It actually started. We were going to make a train set with a Dash 8 and a bunch of well cars, and then we discovered that like the track alone was going to cost more than everything else. So the train set idea sort of fell by the wayside. So then we decided to bring out separately as prime movers models, and then most of our regular customers screamed at us. We got a lot of new customers who bought them and liked them, but our regular customers screamed at us because we didn't have like air filters.
Yeah, we could have actually sold more of the Dash 8s as a full.
No, we would have sold the same number, but it would have been a higher level model.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
So we realized that was a mistake. We did our best to upgrade both models as best we can. We installed the grab irons on the Dash 8.
Well, originally they weren't supposed to have ditch lights originally.
No,
were
we
gonna do
added
that as a
ditch
separate
lights.
part.
We installed the grab irons. We then added etched metal walkways on the well cars. Then we had to have there were still platforms underneath them, so they weren't totally see through because we had to bodge it the best we could to meet the demand of our of our regular customers. And then we realized that Rapido has established a name for itself as being, those of you who are only just tuning in and you want to see the incredible underbody detail of a Rapido car. Everything is there. It looks incredible. All the piping, it's all there. Look at that. It's even also got both the propane tanks and the oil tank. It's like oily propane in the oil. So
don't get them started.
We're known for our detail level, and we made a mistake by doing the prime movers. So we killed the prime movers, and there'll be no more prime movers. We will probably re-release the well car. There's demand for it, but that'll be the last vestige of the prime movers. Is that well car? But we are doing lots more containers. Big demand for the containers.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, we had to up our numbers to the factory because the response was so strong for the second run of containers. So
yeah,
yeah,
we're very happy with that.
Oh yeah,
and then other manufacturers are so happy that they announced a bunch of Fubi containers in the same schemes.
Very true.
All right. To answer, there's been someone that's asked this question a couple of times, so I'll answer it myself. They want to know if we'll ever do the Comet cars with the middle doors. Chances are yes, as long as this run is quite successful.
As always, order product A if you want product B.
Yeah. Exactly.
Also, we should have samples of these pretty soon, shouldn't we? The Comets?
Yes. The only problem is that John's mold factory has had a lot of trouble getting his workers because they all come from out of province. So he's not at full strength yet. They also got nailed by the virus. Progress is slow at his factory. Otherwise, we would have had samples by now.
Okay.
Yeah, we were supposed to have the samples about, say it's mid-March. We're supposed to have the samples about 3 weeks ago.
But when we do, we'll get a video up.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah. And better than that video that I did so I did a video about 6 months ago of the Comets, and I literally taped artwork of Comets to the side of 86.
Well, because the video was of F lines.
Speaking of which, how are those going?
They're in production.
Actually, they're in production now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
They're in production.
Nice.
We did well. Now, you compare the FL9 sales from the rebuilds versus the original FL9s, and the original FL9s was like 2.5 times the sales.
Oh yeah, but you're also talking about the original New Haven. That everyone.
I think a lot of people bought, even if they model Condot, they bought the original FL9 as their Condot engine. Even though now we're doing it with all the head-end power equipment, they've already spent $350 on it.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you gonna do?
All right. I guess one more question. Would we ever consider doing things outside of trains? Well, you had mentioned building kits, but what about things like signals?
I need a lot of signals here. So I would love to. I'll tell you honestly what the problem is. The problem is that most model railroaders don't have a layout. And let's be honest about it, right? I mean, I was a model railroader for how many years before I started? I started this layout 7 years ago. I was a model railroader without a layout from the mid-90s, early 90s probably, until 2013. So a lot of model railroaders don't have a layout, and you're only going to buy signals if you have a layout. They tend to be very, very difficult to program, to do realistically.
Yeah. And in many cases, railroads had very specific styles of signals that the next road didn't.
I mean, you could do some,
make them somewhat generic.
Some generic, but so if you look at the layout here, let me see here. Hang on a second. If you look under the layout, okay, and you'll see all the wires. Let's see how far I can go here. Rotate your phone. You can't rotate your phone recording. Sorry. I got a message there.
He made
right?
the phone angry.
Okay, so you can look down here. There's all these different wires. Okay, so basically, I have to wire the layout much more difficultly. Difficulty. That's not a word. So I want to show you guys this thing, right? So under the layout, so I've had to have signaling blocks everywhere, and so you could have. For the South Rail, the DCC, there's like as much as 8 little wires going along. Okay, so it's very complex to wire properly for signaling. That's basically the sum of it. However, I need lots of signals for this layout. I need signal bridges. I need cantilever signals. I need them all. So hopefully, yes. How's that?
Good answer.
Good?
Yeah, I think that pretty much.
Is the camera set up properly, or can you see us?
Am I out of frame now?
Yeah, Jordan was out of frame. Hang on.
Sorry.
There.
I gotta back up. I can't be too close to you.
And yes, keep
Yeah.
your
Minimum
keep
4
your
feet.
social distance, please.
Okay. All right, well, listen, thank you everyone for tuning in. How long have we been going on now? Eh?
What is this? 2 hours now?
2 hours.
2
10
hours
o'clock.
exactly.
That's
Oh
that's
my
not
God.
bad. That's not bad.
It's nap time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's past my bedtime. Thank you everyone for watching. We're gonna do this again.
Yep. I actually want to do this on somewhat of a regular basis, if we can find the time. Maybe on like a monthly basis or something like that. We'll bring different people in. I think it's a good idea. It's good to be interacting with everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you, and it's been some of you have tuned in for a little bit. Some of you have been here for the whole 2 hours. We appreciate it, and hopefully the pictures have been good quality.
Yep.
And we will be seeing you again soon. And stay tuned. So the Rapido TCS video is coming out tomorrow on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch that when it comes out. The subscribers see the videos first, and then we tell you about it in the newsletter sometimes 2 or 3 weeks later.
Yep.
So subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch that Rapido TCS decoder video. That's coming out tomorrow. And then if you don't get our newsletters, please go to our website and sign up for our newsletters. We send out very informative, very long newsletters about once a month.
Yep. Yep.
That's great.
Definitely.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Thanks very
Okay,
much.
Josh.
Right. Take
Kill
care.
the power.
Bye.